Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at how to create a lunch menu graphic for use in our broadcast program. Let's take a look at what that is going to look like. So on screen now, we should be seeing that finished graphic, or at least an example of that finished graphic. And the idea here is just like when you see a weather broadcast, we're going to green screen somebody on top of this so that they can talk about what lunch is going to be for this week. Now, we will be touching on weather a little bit later on, but for now, we're going to be working with food. Everybody loves food, and I am no exception. So, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do here is go to the Lunch Broadcast Pack on Google Classroom and click on that link. Next, we're going to need to download our files for this project, so we'll click on this down arrow right here. And this should start downloading our files automatically. If this down arrow does not automatically open up for you, well, that's okay. We can just click on this download button and that will show us our downloads. So we'll go to the lunch broadcast pack.zip and we'll click on the folder icon next to that name. Once we're inside of here, we'll see that this has been saved into our downloads folder. And if we're being good and organized students, we don't want this to just be in our downloads folder. We're going to need to move this. On the left-hand side of our File Explorer, we're going to scroll all the way up until we can see Desktop. Next, we're going to drag the Lunch Broadcast Pack onto Desktop and let go. Then we'll click on Desktop on the left here, and we should see that our Lunch Broadcast Pack has been moved into our Desktop folder. From here, we're going to right-click using the right side of the trackpad on the Lunch Broadcast Pack, and we're going to go to Extract All and left-click. From here, we'll go ahead and click on Extract, and you probably will not see this prompt, but in this case, I have already downloaded this file, so I'm going to go ahead and select Replace the Files in this destination. Again, you probably won't see that message, and that's completely okay. From here, we're going to double-click on our weekly lunch template student, and this is going to go ahead and open up our template project, and this will give us just an idea of kind of what we will be working with. So as this document is opening up, we're going to want to make sure that your screen looks just like mine and that our panels are in the same place. To do this, we're going to go to Window up at the top, go to Workspace, and select Essentials. Then we'll go to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, and that'll just make sure that your panels and your screen looks the same as mine. If you look at the bottom right, you'll see how this document works. We have a section that's been marked in yellow, or a group that has been marked in yellow. And if this is not open already, we'll want to click on this arrow to make sure we can open up and see this group here. Inside of our yellow section, we have a bunch of green groups, green folders, labeled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this is where we're going to end up putting our graphics for each of these days. But how do we know what graphic is supposed to go in there? Well, thankfully, JCPS and Iroquois has a very nifty website that will allow us to look up the lunch menu for the week. We'll go back to that Google Classroom link, and we should see that we have this NutriSlice menus linked on here. And if we click on that link, that will open up the menu for the upcoming weeks. So I have mine set to open for July. I'm recording this in July, but you can change the dates here just by clicking on the arrow, and it should show you the lunch menu for that week. So I'm recording this on July 17th. So let's see what is available July 17th. And it looks like for this week we have chicken tenders, taco meat with nachos, cosmic corn dog, barbecue turkey, and pizza for this week. So it looks like on Monday we're going to need to put in some chicken tenders. We'll go back to our Photoshop document here. And then we need to import our chicken tenders graphic. To do this, we're going to go to our File Explorer, this folder icon down at the bottom, and we'll click on the Lunch Broadcast Pack, and this is where we'll take our first look at the icons folder inside of this section. So we just said that we need chicken for Monday, and we have chicken right here. If I click on it once, you'll see that it gives us a preview of what that will look like, and this is what we're going to be using for our Monday graphic. We'll go ahead and click and drag chicken onto our Photoshop document, and you'll see that that has placed it into our document. We're missing some pieces, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that too much right now. What we are going to do, though, is make sure that we can see this inside of the Monday section just by clicking and dragging the graphic. Then we're going to go ahead and click this checkbox to save our selection. Next, we're going to want to make sure that we have our chicken in the Monday folder. So we'll click and drag that into Monday, and that will put it inside of our Monday group. Now, the reason this is so important is that this will mean that it's impossible for us to accidentally have this showing up in our Tuesday or our Wednesday or our Thursday folder, so on and so forth. You can only see it in the Monday window. So if we needed to see this on a Tuesday, we could move this over to Tuesday and move this over to our Tuesday group. And you can kind of see how that works. By making sure that we have these in the right group, it will protect us from accidentally putting it in the wrong spot. I'm going to go ahead and move this chicken back into our Monday group. And we're going to just drag our chicken, clicking on that layer one more time, grabbing the chicken, and putting it back in our Monday group, or that Monday frame. Now, our chicken's a little bit too big right now, so we're going to need to go ahead and fix that. I'm going to go to our layer here, click on chicken to make sure it's active. Then we'll go to edit at the top, and we'll go to transform, and we'll select scale. And this will allow us to click and drag the corners to make that graphic smaller. We can also click and drag the center to move our graphic around. So we're just going to shrink this until it fits comfortably inside of our graphic, inside of our frame. And we just want it to be kind of roughly in the center of that frame. So something like that, I think will be okay. We can use our arrow keys. So I'm going to hit left a couple times just to nudge it over very slightly. And I think that's looking pretty good. We'll go ahead and select the check mark at the top. And now our chicken graphic is in there. Let's get a reminder of what our Tuesday item was. So it looks like tacos were for Tuesday. We'll go back to Photoshop. We'll go back to our icons folder right here. And we just said it was nachos for Tuesday. So we'll click and drag nachos onto our Photoshop document. And this time we're going to make sure it's kind of roughly in our Tuesday section. We'll hit the check mark. Now you can see that we can't see it in our Tuesday frame right now, and that's because it automatically tried to put it into our Monday folder. Well, we know how to fix this now. We're just going to click and drag our nachos into the Tuesday section, and it is now in our Tuesday area. Again, it's a little bit too big, so we'll go to edit at the top. We'll go down to transform, and we'll go to scale. We're going to shrink this down by grabbing the corners and just moving it around until it fits inside of our frame. Now, it might not need to necessarily fit perfectly in there, but we do want it to be kind of close to fitting inside there. If the plate is going off the sides, that's okay. And you'll just want to kind of use your best judgment to see what looks the best. I think that looks pretty good. And we'll go ahead and click OK. So we're just going to continue this process for the other days of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, until we build out a finished lunch menu here. I'm going to fast forward and not bore you with the details here. If you need help with any of these steps, just make sure you let me know in class and I'll be happy to give you a hand. But for now, I got some Photoshop work to do. I'll see you in just a moment here. Alright, and there we go. By golly, I think we've done it. We've completed our menu for this week. Our next step is going to be saving and exporting this document. So as always, we'll use our two different methods here with file save as and file export. We'll go ahead and do that now. So file at the top, save as, and then we'll just save this inside of the lunch broadcast pack. That's okay. But let's go ahead and give this a name. So we'll maybe say the first day of the week. So this would be July 15th, and I can check that just by clicking on the date down here to see the calendar. So July 15th will be the date for this. And we can just save that as July 15th. And let's maybe call that menu, July 15th menu. We'll go ahead and select save. We'll do OK. And that just saved it as a Photoshop document. Next, we're going to export this by going to File at the top and selecting Export, Export As. And then we're going to go to Format at the top, select JPEG, JPG, and we can set this to right around a 6 here. We'll go ahead and select export. From here, we're going to go to desktop, launch broadcast pack, and our name should still be in here from when we saved earlier, July 15th menu. We'll go ahead and select save, and then we can minimize out of Photoshop. On our desktop, after getting rid of all these windows, we should be able to see our launch broadcast pack. Double click on that and double click on the July 15th menu, and that will show us what our finished menu looked like. So that will wrap up this step of the project. We'll go ahead and get this turned in on Google Classroom, and then in our next few steps, we're going to take a look at how we can use this inside of a green screen environment to put together a really nice looking lunch broadcast that might be part of a bigger broadcast in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all back in class. Bye now.